Dragon Cry has officially got that trailer, and as you guys know, if you've seen that live reaction that I did and all that, I was really goddamn excited and a little bit emotional kind of seeing that, as it's been a couple of things I've wanted to see for like Fairy Tail while, and boy oh boy was I kind of like blown away by like, you know, this movie right at the very end. And now this video especially is going to be talking about some of the things that you may have perhaps didn't see in the movie, and also as well some predictions where exactly that it's going to be going from there. But since like the live reaction was just me like going, oh shit, oh cool shit happening, so we're going to be having a little bit more of a closer look at that. And one of the things that was very interesting, like as we talked about saying this is going to be like talking about Fairy Tail's like climax, it is talking about saying like this movie is going to be the ending, this is going to be like kind of one of the final bits of Fairy Tail content that we are going to be getting for the series, which is kind of a little bit sad to think about. Like I hope this doesn't mean that this is like fully the end of like everything animated for Fairy Tail. I really do hope at least all that they do come back to do the last like part, like they have missed out like obviously like the Avatar arc and the final arc, but it can entirely depend on all that, like what they exactly want to do at the end of the day, whether or not, you know, it's like at the end of the day a series is ending, and what's it going to be like, you know, like they want to push more, you know, merchandise and stuff like that, they want to push more of the manga and what have you. But let's talk more about some of the panels that we were seeing in there, like exactly some of the stuff that were like Hiromashima's ruthless movie, like especially we saw from the start there, Natsu punching in and all that, like going in trying to attack one of the opponents. I imagine that would be surprised from like when the start of the movie. And the first couple of drafts that we see in there is Natsu transforming immediately into this dragon mode with like his claws and like that, and his wing coming out and the horn. Another side that we do see is like Natsu coming into the battle and all that, like charging in. We see Gray coming like bloodied up and all that, so Gray probably is going to have like a little bit of an important fight throughout this movie. Same thing with like we see, like we don't exactly get to see, I'm guessing there might be a Lucy like on the top line. It's there hard to like see on there with Natsu there, like when he's trying to fight on it. I'd like to say that's either Lucy or that's either like the new character Sonia that's like being introduced to the movie. If not, I'd say that would be Sonia, but like the thing is like we also get to see a more lighter heart like kind of shot of like Lucy in the movie, which is like we get to see like her like under the textures, like she's in some sort of like, you know, like Arabian outfit, she's got like dancing around, like, so I imagine that's probably what's happening, and you see like a bunch of guys going like they're kind of really enjoying the fact that it's like they're straight in there. You got like even as well just a shot like it's hard to tell like obviously with some of the text being there, but the fact is like, you know, just that it kept going on from like, wait, what was that thing? Why do we keep seeing cool shit like that? And it's like we see like something like being like attacked from the sky, like it was like kind of like this magic seal was being like awoken. And if anything, I'd imagine like what that particularly was like maybe that was perhaps like Dragon Cry being finally activated, since we do know like Dragon Cry seems to be like some sort of weapon that they've been after for a while, and that this is the kingdom in question that we've been talking about and all that. That's going to be happening from there, and it's just saying like this lightning just kind of fire down from the ground, like and all that. So we're a little curious, like kind of the next shot being just like Ursa, Gray, like everyone kind of looking a little bit strong. The next part of that though is when we're looking at the fucking dragon, this crystallized like kind of dragon thing. We saw this kind of design very early on, if you remember people like the screenshots that we saw. So they're clearly bringing this back, whether or not this is a real dragon or not, whether or not this has something to actually do with Dragon Cry itself, this is like some sort of guardian deity, or whether or not this is actually one of the main villains of the movie, like fusing with, like we don't know particularly too much like of this movie, but it's like the ending, as we can clearly see with like what we get to see. It's like a lot of things happening, like you get to see like Natsu transforming, we get to see as well like a little like Happy crying, something's clearly happening. We get, and I imagine what exactly happening is that why Natsu is transforming like this. I would imagine the fact that from what a lot of people can guess and all that, obviously Igneal's not in his body like anymore to prevent him from turning into a dragon. This guy, whoever they're facing off in the movie and all that, maybe has pushed Natsu too far, and this is why we get in this dragonification and all that, where he's actually becoming a dragon for the most part, and he's barely holding on for the most part from this movie. So that's like kind of interesting going through that. Like I'm very curious to see like if that's the exact reason, but one of the things that is like we get to see right at the end is like as Natsu's like on the ground, clearly as the transformations just happened, is that we can have like hear Lucy like say like, please like open your eyes, like she's like saying that to Natsu, and I'm like wow, like, you know, like so at the end like they're saying like Natsu's like he used too much energy and there's like a risk of him like obviously I have no chance and all that, Natsu's gonna be dying in the movie, but clearly how they're talking with the climax and everything, it honestly sounds like this, you know, this is gonna be after like everything and all that, like maybe like after the end of that, from like if this is right at the end of the series and all that, maybe, you know, Urza finally takes up that role. She finally takes up like being the guild master, and what's happening from there. is that they're continuing on the guild, they're continuing in Makarov's name, like they're gonna be like doing everything, and like they got this one big job. Maybe this like job that they got from this like kingdom and all that is actually something where it's like they've been for a rough patch recently, Fairy Tail, and it's like, you know, ever since everything that's happened and all that, they need some money. Maybe this job might pay out well. Maybe that might be a little bit of the premise why Fairy Tail is going out here and taking this job in the first place. Like whether or not that be like explained or not, because the thing is though, like I'm comparing this a lot to the Phoenix movie as well, like the Phoenix Priestess one. And that one, like, it just like, oh, it's just, you know, randomly, you know, kind of like happens of coincidence to that, you know, they kind of got involved and also as well, like a job and everything. So it's like, I'm very much looking forward to this movie. I'm glad finally, and now we've got some animated stuff to it. And clearly from what we've seen about like all the stuff, the content that's been in there, and like they're showing the highlights. I kind of wish, if anything, they saved some of the stuff and all that, like, but they kind of want to get, yeah, no, that whole like Dragon Eyes transformation and all that. You're clearly seeing that in the movie. That's going to be a heavy part of it. Go in there. This movie's going to be coming out in a couple of months and all that. You better go and watch it. That's what they're pretty much trying to go and do and all that. It's like, it's kind of nuts to think that it's going to be coming out in 2 months for the most part. Like, that's nuts to me. But I just cannot wait for this and all that. Like, so let me know, guys, what you think in the conversation down below and all that. What do you think is going to be happening in this movie? A little bit more about everything that's going to be like going on and all that. Especially, do you think as well, the whole thing that's talking about, that this is going to be the finale for like Fairy Tail from when they're talking about the climax, and this is going to be taking place afterwards Urza becomes a master. Maybe, you know, this is the movie as well for after everything Natsu and Lucy. They finally settle in. Maybe this is like what starts off and all that. We'll have to wait and see. But that is all for me. Thank you very much for watching as always. And I'll see you guys though next time.